Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizziefayelovesbooks. I'm Elizabeth, and today I really need to upload my March wrap-up. Now, I filmed a March wrap-up on my old camera several days ago, and it needs to be edited, and I've even filmed like my April TBR since then, and I said it's done, I just got to edit it, and I should have that up in a few days, and all of that. But then the battery died on our computer, so I don't have any way to edit it. And even if I could edit on my phone, which I'm filming on now, I don't know how to edit on my phone. So I thought, even though I usually do my wrap-ups where I can put pictures in and everything, because who knows when we'll get a new battery. We have ordered it, but, everything's taking forever in the mail. So, I just need to get this done because tomorrow I have a very special announcement video, or if I don't get this uploaded until tomorrow, then you'll see another video from me today regarding a special readathon that Sarah and I host. So look for that soon. But meanwhile, I want to tell you a little bit about the 35 books that I finished in the month of March. Now, I did do a weekly wrap up at the end of each week of the 4 full weeks of March. So after that, I finished 5 books. So let me first tell you about those 5. Then I'll just go back over everything super briefly, and we'll just have to leave it at that. And I'll do my best to show you on my current phone. I'm filming on my old phone. I have my current phone here. I will show you pictures of the stuff that I don't have a physical copy of. Most everything I have a physical copy of. I normally would have had to take all this back to the library by now, and there are a couple of libraries in our county that are still taking returns, but even they said, it's okay. You have everything till June 1st. Don't bring it in don't go out of your way to bring it in. It's okay, because we just as soon not be overloaded with taking in all the returns at this time, which, I get. So, anyway, the 5 books that I finished since the last wrap-up, one of them was the 9th book that I was reading in the Coffeehouse series. I said I wanted to read 10 books, and I did finish the 10th one. Well, it's really the 16th one, 17th one. But I had wanted to read 10 books in March. I only got 9 read. This was the 9th one that I read in March. So this is Dead Cold Brew by Cleo Coyle. And I want to say this is book 16. Yes. I'm almost positive. So anyway, all that to say, the 1 or 2 before this one, I really enjoyed a lot. This one, not so much. It didn't hold my attention as well, if this is the one I'm thinking of. Now I'm getting it mixed up with the one that I listened to this month. It's terrible. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that this is the one that I just had difficulty with, and that's why I didn't get the next one done, because I kind of struggled with this one. It wasn't horrible, but I just kind of struggled with it. So, anyway, enough of that. Then I also finished the 4th Cat Who book that I was planning to read in the month of March, and I had wanted to read 5, and so again, the 5th one, which is also the very last one, I did finish in the month of April. But this was the last one that I finished of the Cat Who books in March. This is The Cat Who Dropped a Bombshell. And it was okay. It was better than the very last one, which was A Cat Who Had 60 Whiskers. It was really just kind of sad. It just wasn't good. But this one was okay. Not nearly as good as the beginning, the earlier part of the series when Lillian Jackson Braun was at her best. I think she had some ghostwriters that helped her with these last few, and they're just not as good. This one wasn't horrible, but not great. And then, along with that, I did read 2 in print. These are 2 of the 3 short story books based on the Cat Who series. Sort of. The first one I read is actually not based on the Cat Who series. It's written by the same author. It's 14 tales, but I don't think there's any short stories in here that have any crossover characters from the actual Cat Who books. And Coco and Yum Yum are not in any of these stories. So you don't have to have read any of the Cat Who books. You don't have to be reading any of them. You don't have to read them at all. These are just 14 short stories that are cat related. They're not even really mysteries. Some of them are mysterious, but anyway, it is related to the Cat Who series in a way, just by relation that it's the same author. But not, not part of the series per se. This one, though, this is kind of a recap of some of the things that happened to Coco and Yum Yum in the series. It is called The Private Life of the Cat Who. It was a very easy read. You could really read this in one sitting. I read it in, probably less than 2 hours. Most people could probably read this in less than an hour. There's a lot of empty space, and they're just little short vignettes, and it's kind of a recap of the series. Okay, so those were, I said I was going to show you the last, here I got into talking about the Cat Who, and I said I was just going to show you the last 5 books. So, anyway, the last 5 books. It was this one, and then I read or listened to 2 J.A. Jance books. I listened to Judgment Call. This is book 15, I believe, in the Joanna Brady series. Joanna Brady is a female county sheriff in Arizona. I have really, really enjoyed this series. And then after this, I listened to 15.5, which is actually a prequel story. It's a little novella about Joanna's husband, Butch. It does not have to be read in the order of things, but it's number 15.5, so I listened to it. Actually, I listened to it before I finished this because I was listening to this on audio CD, and I needed something quick on my phone because I needed to be gone somewhere. Not really gone, but just away from the CD player. So I went ahead and listened to The Old Blue Line is the name of it. It's on Hoopla on audio, and it's about these old retired, one's a lawyer, one's a policeman, there's a couple of others, and they are all retired, and they help Butch out of a situation before he has ever even met Joanna. So it was a cute story, and I enjoyed that. So then, I don't have a picture of that or anything. Oh, well, I actually could show you on my phone. But then the last book that I finished in print was a Hardy Boys book. And I don't think I had ever read a Hardy Boys book. I think I picked one up a long time ago and didn't get anywhere with it. But before I talk about that, let me go back here. This is The Old Blue Line. Let me reduce my brightness a little bit, or maybe you can see that. The Old Blue Line by J.A. Jance. Okay, so then the very last book that I read in print is The Pentagon Spy. And I picked this is number 61 of the Hardy Boys. I picked it because the word Pentagon relates to the word 5. And so this, since I didn't actually have a mystery book this month that had the word 5 in it, I grabbed this one. And it was okay. I don't know how I feel about the Hardy Boys. I think, as an adult looking back, I haven't read any of the others, and I'm sure some of the earlier ones are probably better, but they're a little bit pretentious, maybe. And so is Nancy Drew. I don't think that would be wrong to say that, but not in a bad way, but they're just so talented. I mean, of course I know they're teenage boys, so they're driving, but they're also experienced sailors and experienced pilots. And I don't know if they fly and sail in every book, but, they're pretty experienced and talented for their young lives. So, I know it's fiction, but it just kind of struck me funny. But I did enjoy that. Okay, so going back now, let me show you the things on my phone. Otherwise, I'll get to the end of this video and I'll forget. I had, let's see here. I listened to all of the Coffeehouse books on Hoopla, and I've got all of those in physical form, so I'll show you those covers. But I also listened to 2 books on Audible, part of the Escape package, and I wanted to be able to do 2 more categories in the Audible Escape package. So it's going to start talking to me now. It's going to start the book when all I really want to do is show you the cover, and of course it has to download it. That's the one thing I don't like about Audible. I can't just show you the cover without it downloading the book. See, there it goes. It's going to start the story. And I didn't want to start the story. But anyway, this is kind of a cozy mystery called One Little Wish. It says it's book 1 in the series. Let's see. Book 1 of the Little Things series. And I don't think there's a book 2 yet. It's by Gina Lamanna. I talked about this in, I think, maybe the first week's wrap-up. And then later in the month, I listened to one for the action category. I believe the first one, One Little Wish, is for the small town category. So the one I listened to for action is by C.J. Lyons, and it is called Chasing Shadows. And it's the first book in the Shadow Ops thriller series. I didn't think it was all that thrillery, really. In fact, everything that I listened to or read this month that was supposed to be a thriller, I wasn't really thrilled by it, honestly. And this wasn't really thrilled by it. I think I enjoyed the Heart and Drake series better, and neither blew me away. I still want to try at least one more series by her, though. Okay, then so that's everything on Audible. Then on Scribd, I listened to a book with the Paperback Junkie. Matt is one of the March Mystery Madness hosts, and he reads a lot of pulp type books, and so for his read along, we read Pulp by Charles Bukowski. I would not have picked this up otherwise, and it was way over the top, but there were a couple of laugh out loud moments, although not anywhere close to what I usually read. But it was interesting, and it's kind of opened my eyes to that genre. And I think, though, that this was meant to sort of poke fun at the pulp genre. But it was interesting, so I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad I had that excuse to listen to that. And it was a short little audiobook. Okay, then I think that's everything that I don't have a physical copy of. So I'm just going to quickly go through all the stuff. Let's just start with the Coffeehouse Books. I'm going to probably try to do a review of all of these books, kind of to just sort of tell you about all of them, since I do have them in my possession and I don't have to return them. Oh, there's Emily. I don't have to return them anytime really soon. So, well, I'll have to return them in June, so I've still got a month and a half. So I'll probably go ahead and try to do a video review of the whole series. But I started with book 8, which is Holiday Grind. I had already listened to the first 7 of those prior to March. Then book 9 is Roast Mortem. And book 10, this is actually a library copy. I own most of these, but a few I had to get from the library. My little sticker there. Book 10, Murder by Mocha. Book 11 is A Brew to a Kill. This is my copy, although it's an old library copy. Book 12, Holiday Buzz. Book 13, Billionaire Blend. This is one of my favorites. I kind of like this one. This is probably my favorite. Once Upon a Grind. It had a lot of fairy tale aspects to it. It was a lot of fun. Bye, Emily. I guess I bored her. And then, can't remember which one's next. I think this one's next. Dead to the Last Drop. This one also, I think, was, I can't remember if it was this one or this one that I did not care for as much. The two that I liked the best were Billionaire Blend and Once Upon a Grind. Then these were the last two, Dead to the Last Drop and Dead Cold Brew. So I finished 9 of the Coffeehouse books in the month of March. I had wanted to go for 10, and I got the 10th one done early in April. Then there's one more that's out that I have not read, and I've ordered it. It's supposed to hopefully come from the library, books by mail, but I have not received it yet, and I can't find it on audio unless I pay for it, like on Audible, so I'll probably just read that in print. I may go ahead and try to get that read this month so that I can just kind of do a whole overall review of everything. Okay, so then I already showed you the Cat Who books, so I have, and the J.E. Jance books, so everything else that I read or listened to are kind of just from different random series. The other thriller type books that I read, my least favorites, this one, The Lion Game by Ruth Ware, and I did this for a read along, but I wasn't a fan of it. It was for book club, and this also, The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. We have been able to continue to meet with my in real life book club outside of our library. Across the street there is a gazebo, and it's a nice big open air place, and we bring our own chairs and we sit 6 feet apart, and it's been fine. In fact, I just met today and we talked about the The Line Game, yeah. We met about this today. There was just 4 of us there, but we sat far apart and we had a nice time. Then one I did love is Blood Money by Thomas Perry. This is book 5 in the Jane Whitefield series, and I am just right now finishing up the next book in the series. It's called Runner, and it's so great. I've got 2 left. I'm going to go ahead and listen to those this month and just finish the series, and I'm going to be sad that it's over because this is a really good series. And then the other cozy mysteries that I finished by Alexander McCall Smith, I listened to the Limpopo Academy of Private Detection, and this has wood on the cover, so I'm not going to be able to go back and tell you all the different prompts that each of these met. Most everything met some prompt, and I met most of them, so I'm just going to have to leave it at that. I might type it in the description. Then I read a new chapter by Kristen Eckhart, I believe. This is the first book in the Secrets of Mary's Bookshop series. I'm almost positive that's the author's name. I know it is. Anyway, a new chapter. It's a guidepost series. Then I listened to Freeze or I'll Shoot by Victoria Hamilton, book 3 in the Vintage Kitchen Mystery series, which is a lot of fun. Okay, then I listened to and read some children's books, mostly read children's books. I already mentioned The Pentagon Spy. As far as kids' mysteries, I also read A Boxcar Children, book 5, Mike's Mystery. I listened to this and I read it. It's very short, so I did both. I only counted it once on Goodreads, but I did listen to it completely and read it completely. Then this is the one of the books I bought when I went and found the mystery bookstore at the same day that I went to Katie's last color guard competition. So this is a kid's mystery called Jigsaw Jones is the series. It's called The Case of the Vanishing Painting. It was a lot of fun. And then non-mysteries that are kids' books that I read. The very last Sunshine State book that I had not finished, Ethan Marcus Stands Up by Michelle Weber Hurwitz. And then I also listened, or no, I keep saying listen because I'm so used to doing that. I read The Miserable Mill by Lemony Snicket, book 4 in the series of unfortunate events. And my Newbery of the month was The Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Pena. And then I had 2 YA fantasy books. Dark Passage, book 6 in the Kingdom Keeper series by Ridley Pearson. This is about kids who are holographic guides at Disney. This one and the book before took place on the Disney Cruise Line. And then Spindle's End by Robin McKinley. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. Yes. And then I have one book that's just kind of other fiction. I only picked it up because it has the word 5 in the title. It's not a mystery. I didn't really enjoy it. It's by Mitch Albom. It's The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. And then 2 nonfiction books, kind of part of my devotional. Well, this was part of my devotional, and then I read this one a little bit, here and there after I would get done with my Bible reading and devotionals. This one is Having a Merry Heart in a Martha World by Joanna Weaver. That was very good. It took me 2 months to read that one. I read just a little at a time. And then this was from my TBR jar, What Wives Wish Their Husbands Knew About Women by Dr. James Dobson. It's a very old book, but I did enjoy it. It was a quick read, but I just kind of read a little along throughout the month. So that's everything I read. I don't even remember if I gave you my stats. Did I? I meant to do that at the beginning, and I failed to. Let's see if I have time. I do, I think. So I finished a total of 35 books. 24 of them were on audio, plus the one that I listened to and read in print. So that left 10 that I read in print, plus the one that I did both. So a total of 35 books. For cozy mysteries, I read 9 of the Coffeehouse books, 2 of the actual Cat Who mysteries, then the one on Audible, 1 from the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, and then 1 from the Vintage Kitchen. So that is a total of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cozy mysteries. So yay, divisible by 5. 5 thrillers. Yay, again, there's the 5. 6 children's books, 3 of which were mysteries, 2 YA fantasy, 1 detective story, that would be the pulp story, 1 other fiction, 2 nonfiction, and I also, and then 2 short story collections, that's the Cat Who books, not really mysteries, 1 novella, that was the J.A. Jance one, and another 5 for you. I read 5 books of the Bible, short books. I'm into the minor prophets now. In fact, at the end of this month, I should be able to finish the Old Testament. So I read Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Nahum. Those were the 5 books of the Bible that I read during the month of March. So that's pretty much it. That is my reading in a nutshell for the month of March. For April so far, I've almost managed to finish a book a day, and several have several been in print? I'm reading several in print, but I haven't finished any except one really short one. But I'm trying to finish up the books that I didn't get done, the mystery books I didn't get done, and then kind of jump back into some of the things I'm reading for my 20 by 20 challenge. And then I'm going to be reading some Amish books, so look for that announcement tomorrow. I hope you'll join in for Amish in April, hosted by Sarah and myself, and I'll give you the exact dates for that this weekend. Hopefully that video will be coming out on Friday. So regardless of what day it is today that you're seeing this, that video should be out very soon. So that's all for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.